What is up, you guys? Welcome back to No Pill. This is my second time actually recording this video because I don't know, I'm such an idiot. I unplugged my mic somehow and I didn't even realize until like 10 minutes into filming this. So I guess it's not that bad. It could be way worse. But today, in light of the school year, I don't know where you live. Some of you might have already started or you're starting next week, but I wanted to get into my poll results. So, majority of you guys actually said that woke teachers in the public schools are worse than the holier than thou teachers at the private schools. So, today we're going to be reacting to woke TikTok teachers. Let's get right into it.
This is your daily reminder that Dr. Seuss is racist and you shouldn't use him in your classroom. I get that some of these books are considered classics. I mean, I grew up on them myself. I also get that he was a product of his time. But also, mind you, this is 2021. There are literally so many other books that are more inclusive to all students that you can use instead.
Okay, so I also grew up reading them and I read them to my kids, and I don't know much about Dr. Seuss's personal life or his political leanings or his view on different races. But what I do know is that there's none of that in the actual books. So if you cannot, as a teacher, separate the art from the artist, then we have a problem.
I've heard a lot of people say that gender is complex and sex is simple. As a biology teacher, I highly disagree. Gender is really easy. Gender is how someone identifies. So just listen to them when they tell you if they're male, female, or non-binary. Sex is more complex. Biology teachers like to boil it down to XX and XY, but there are so many more combinations than that of the sex chromosomes. Also, that is only chromosomal sex. It's not biological sex in its entirety. There's really only one gene on the Y chromosome, the SRY gene, that contributes to the production of traditional male hormones. You could be chromosomally male, but that gene could be inactivated, or that gene could have translocated to an X chromosome and is now present in a chromosomal female.
No. No, I don't care if you want to teach about gender and gender being a spectrum. At the end of the day, we weren't supposed to be conflating gender and sex, right? But gender ultimately is still just variations of male and female. Whether you're transgender, you identify as either male or female. Whether you're cisgender, I hate that word, but you're either male or female. Whether you're non-binary, that means you're not on the binary of male and female, or you could be bigender, two gender, I don't know, you're male and female. These are just variations of two different sexes. And what I want to ask this woman, this biology teacher, I don't know who hired her, but this biology teacher, can these XXX and XXYX and XYZ people procreate? Now, I've never met anybody of any other variation in my entire life. Only people who choose to identify. So if this woman is honestly going to try and teach that sex is more complicated, she's not there to help students learn and become educated. She is literally there to confuse people because whoever is the wokest wins.
This has been my first year in preschool with a class of my own, teaching alongside another queer neurodivergent educator, and we have been rocking our Choose class. We've been talking about gender and skin color and consent and empathy and our bodies and autonomy. It's been fabulous. But our teaching team is shifting and a new person is being onboarded, someone with many years of experience. So today at the lunch table, when the topic of gender and genitals came up, one of our students plainly looked up and said, "Well, I'm a girl today, but I know that teacher Co isn't. No, they're NB." And the look on the incoming teacher's face was priceless. She was shocked in a good way, and she just looked around at the two of us and said, "This class was incredible, and I am so impressed."
Did you see that excitement at the end? That is so sickening. And my first question is, why is the topic of genitals and gender coming up at the lunch table? Didn't she say she had preschoolers too? Like, what the hell are these teachers teaching these kids?
Let me say it again for those in the back row. CRT is not being taught below law school. Those of you that are against it are being misled by the media about what CRT and where and when it is taught. What you're really against is the 1619 project, so start calling it what it is. You are against us teaching the true history of this country and unwhitewashing the curriculum.
All these people are so insufferably condescending. It's disturbing. Anyway, so CRT, yeah, I think the one way to keep like racial tensions high is to continue to talk about how like white man bad, right? And people of color oppressed. If you can convince somebody that they're oppressed, then they just give up. I was in a pretty isolated community growing up where we for the most part had one race of people. It was mostly white people, but there was a mix. There was a lot of like native people too. But we didn't really pay attention to any of that. Like, it didn't matter, like, what race you were, if you were white or non-white. And then when I moved to the city, did I have biases? No, none. Like, my first group of friends when I moved to a larger city was, Koreans. The last thing I thought about was where these people were from or their race. You just make friends with people who are nice to you and who you have stuff in common with, and you can absolutely have stuff in common with people of all different races. I don't think the whole racism thing is inherent in a person. I don't think they're born like that. I think this is something that's absolutely taught. And I don't think it's taught by the people that they are saying that it is. It is taught through things like CRT and through woke shit like this.
Do your students call you by your first name or Mr. or Miss? Great question. This is actually a classic question. Here's your answer. Currently, my students just call me Desmond or Desi. First name. However, I have been at schools that go by last name. Those schools I go by Teacher Fambrini. I am gender fluid, so I don't go by Mr. or Miss. I go by teacher because I am a teacher. So Desmond, Desi, or Teacher Fambrini.
I better watch what I say. I have nothing against homosexual teachers, or homosexual people in general. But where are the standards? Where are the dress codes? Where is the presentable, professional look that a teacher is supposed to have? You're not supposed to be a distraction for your students. This flamboyant, freakish person over here is going to make their entire teaching career about their sexuality. I guarantee it. The kids are not learning. They're talking about like gender shit.
Y'all, let me introduce you to our non-binary alpaca. The kids voted on a gender-neutral name, Alex, for them. Alex was there to help me during the really quiet moments when nobody would talk during virtual learning. Yes, they were so quiet! But then I also took it as an opportunity to teach my students about how to respect people's pronouns. Did Alex ever get misgendered? Yes. But then it opened up some teachable moments about what to do when that would happen. For example, hey Mr. Vung, did he just wake up from his nap? Oh, do you mean did they wake up from their nap? Yeah, they just did. I would apologize quickly, make the correction, and move on. I started off modeling how to correct somebody, and then afterwards my students would correct each other whenever somebody would misgender Alex here.
When I was 10 years old, none of this existed. You were a boy or a girl, a tomboy or a girly girl. Okay, you might have been a more softer boy or a more rugged boy, but you're a boy or a girl. This is not normal. This is this generation, and it's being shoved down these kids' throats. By the way, there's no alpaca on this planet that is non-binary. They're male and female. They're fucking animals. The one solution that I have come up with for this issue, it's not homeschooling, it's not private schooling, it's not fighting with the school. It's simply just parent your kids. Don't let the school parent them. You parent them. Don't be lazy. Teach them how to think, not what to think, and arm them with the tools that they need to combat these bad ideas. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to No Pilled, like this video and share it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.